Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah walhamdulillah wassalatu wassalamu ala rasulillah wa ala alihi wa sahbihi ajma'in amma ba'd. So today we're going to talk about a very important subject, something that can touch all of our hearts. It is about the relationships towards parents. So we usually think about people who we care about the most as people we've known for a long time. Some people who we've cared for, we've known from high school, from school, for a long time, and they've been there before. When we were very young, we didn't have much for ourselves, and we think about them as people very trustful. Where there are people who were there for the longest time before, and these were your parents. They were here when you were absolutely nothing, not capable of doing anything by yourself, not being able to walk, to drink, to eat, to do anything. But they were there for you in patience, in hardships. They never let down. But still, we feel even here as a ummah, that we're not living up to how the work that they have done for us. In fact, we know that we could never give them back what they have done, for sure. But we have to do the most for them. And as we see here, the reality is it's the total opposite. The reality is that the young now, we see them being disrespectful towards their parents, not being patient with them, sometimes insulting them, disobeying them, all of that. Even going up to hitting or whatever. We hear these stories sometimes. And this is very, very hard. It's very, very far away from what we've seen, what our predecessors have been preaching. And so, first, to know what we have to do, we have to think about why is it important to be good towards our parents. Where the first reason is because Allah has decreed it. So, in Surah Al-Isra, verses 23 and 24, I'll read it in English. He says, "For your Lord has decreed that you worship none but Him and honor your parents. If one or both of them reach old age in your care, never say to them even uff, nor yell at them. Rather, address them respectfully. And lower your wing in humility towards them in kindness and say, my Lord, have mercy on them as they cared for me when I was little." So in the first phrase, what he says, He says, and he has decreed it that you worship none but Him and that you honor your parents. It's a decree from Allah. It's the command of Allah. He didn't say, oh, but if they're bad to you, if they did something good, not bad to you, then you can do whatever. No, He said, honor your parents at all time. It's a decree from Allah. So forget about our nafs, what we want to do, how we want to respond. The importance is we have to answer what Allah has told us to do. And we see this important also in the Sunnah of Prophet ﷺ and in the Sahaba radiyallahu anhum. Like Prophet ﷺ said that the satisfaction of Allah is in the satisfaction of the parents, and the anger of Allah is in the anger of the parents. So if you want to make Allah, to satisfy Allah, to please Allah, then be good to them. And get far away from angering them by doing them harm or whatever. There was also a man who once went to Umar ibn Khattab radiallahu anhu, and he said, so my mother, she has reached old age, and now she cannot go even to the toilet by herself. She cannot do it anymore. So I have to carry her on my back, get her, and help her with doing her business. Well, and he asked him, have I paid my debt toward her? He said no. Because she was doing that before, and she was wishing for you a long life. But you are doing it right now, hoping that it will stop one day and her day will end. Subhanallah. There was also another story, and this teaches us about the fact that uh, we can be forgiven great sins by being good to our parents. So a man went and asked a woman's hand in marriage, and she refused. And then another man went afterwards, and the parents and her accepted, and they got married. And the first man, out of jealousy, what he did is he killed the man, the other one, the one who got married, out of pure jealousy, cold blood murder. And he went to Ibn Abbas, and he asked him, "What can I do to repent?" And he didn't know what to tell him. He was like, "This is too big of a sin, right?" But he thought about it, and he said, "Is your mother still alive?" He asked him, "Is his mother still alive?" He said, "Yes." He says, "Go and be good to her." And that's it. And even the Sahaba at the time, they were like, how can you let a man doing that kind of stuff just going away and like that, and just by taking care of his mother? And he said, Ibn Abbas, "I do not know of any better actions or more honorable than taking good care of his mother." So maybe if he does that, then Allah will forgive him. SubhanAllah. So if you have something, anything that you wanted to ask forgiveness for, we usually ask forgiveness to Allah. It's a good thing. And we can also, by doing good to our parents, maybe Allah will forgive us our sins. And even by ourselves, we should be able to know that it's a good thing to be grateful towards our parents. Because we think about it, our mother, she took care of us for 9 months. For 9 months, all she ate, you ate back from her. You took her resources. She was tired, you took even more of her resources. Sometimes she couldn't walk, she was fainting sometimes, she had problems, health problems, but she was giving you this stuff. And she didn't feel like, probably sometimes she felt really tired, but still she kept going. And when comes the time where to have to give birth, then sometimes it can take hours, 12, 13, even 24 hours on the bed, suffering, fainting sometimes, just wishing so that he can get out. And when he gets out, the first thing he does is he gets nourished from her. He starts also taking back. And then she has to take care of him. Sleepless night. Putting him to bed, giving him food, taking him to the toilet, everywhere. She had to take care of this for the whole time. So this kind of effort, we could never do it. We could never imagine giving this back to her. We have to at least do some part of it and realize how much it is that she has done. And you have to also think about it. Your parents, they're the only person that wish better for you than what they have. They're the only one. If they were asked to give their life for you at any time, any moment in their life, even after a big conflict, they would not even hesitate. They would give it back. They'd say, "I'll die for him," or "I'll take this injury for him," or "I'll take this disease for him." No, think about it. Nobody else would do it for you. Nobody. But the first person we think about when we go out, when we want to please somebody, it's our friends. It's our this and that, anybody else. We don't think about our parents. How cruel it is that this kind of relationship is being seen here now. We have to change that. We have to think about this. It's they only want. It's the only one that also wants you to get even higher grade in Jannah than you. If they were to ask, if they want you to be even better than them, in terms of deen, in terms of work, of comfort. Even your closest friends, if they were asked, they would not do the same thing for you. They're the only one. And so the way we can maybe change this dynamic that we see here is by starting to nourish back these relationships. We do not try to talk to our parents or to do activities with them enough. Because the first time you think you want to have fun or you want to decompress or whatever, you think about, I don't know, your kids or your wife or your friends, whatever. You don't think about your parents first. Well, some people, they don't do that the whole year. Then imagine what just taking a cup of tea with them could do as a benefit. It would fill their heart with love. But some people, we never do it. We only think about ourselves. We think, oh, okay, I want to go with this one, this one, this one. So trying to nourishing back, trying to make the effort, trying to make the first step towards them, so that maybe after it's going to be getting easier and easier. And we know that the paradise, it's under the feet of the parents. Because if your parents are reaching old age, and they have this difficulty, and you can help them, you have the opportunity to help them. Imagine how much good actions you're taking with you Yawm al-Qiyamah. This is your key to paradise, to taking care of them, helping them, anything. So you have to seize this opportunity, to be closer to them, to help them, to always be like even making the first step, because they sometimes they don't want to make it because they are not afraid, but they're ashamed. They don't want to bother, whatever. Do the first step towards them, because all they care about is you being happy. But often they forget themselves. But we as children, we cannot let them have this lifestyle. We have to give them back. Even in conflict, because we know that parents are never perfect. They're human, and they can have conflict. And sometimes when you're if you can raise up and then advance a little bit, because there are brothers in the back that can't. If you have a space in front of you, just fill it up, please. Jazakallahu khairan. So as I said, if you have a conflict, you see that you're starting to get angry, you're starting to get stressed about a situation, it can happen. Well, there are a few things you can do. First, you can, if you know something bad is going to get out, you can just leave. Don't let these bad words, these bad reactions influence you. Get in front of your parents, because this will really hurt them. And Allah said, don't even say to them, oof. It's even in the attitude. If I say yes, but I can say yes always, making them feel like they're too much, like, oh, you're tiring me, then that's not good. It's even in the attitude. So don't make them feel like you're angering they are angering you or whatever. So if you're in a situation like that, you can leave. Or you can remember that it is the decree of Allah to be good to them. You have no other choice. It's not like they have done bad to me, so I can do it back to them. That's how some people think here, because it's what's portrayed as relationships in non-Muslim country. They think, oh, okay, they scream on me, I can scream on you. That's not like that. Allah said, honor them. Even if they're bad to you, you cannot just splash it back up to them. Take it upon you. It's the command of Allah. So you have to take it seriously. And this is the most important things. So if we can take back, just trying to make the effort and be good to them. Try to, like, let's say, just call them if you don't live with them, or make like organize something with them. Take a cup of tea when you get home. Eat with them. Spend time with them and try to build up this relationship back, inshallah. سبحانك اللهم بحمدك نشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت نستغفرك ونتوب إليك.